Man, God bless the Free Music Archive, okay? Because I love our opening song.
We can get our jam on.
Are you kidding me, man? Every time we finish this doggone thing on Wednesdays, I'm walking upstairs going, boom, 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 every single Wednesday. I kid you not, man. Holy moly. Hey, look at there. It's Mr. Todd. How you doing, sir? How are you?
Todd's first. He gets the gold star today on Indie Invasion Shorts.
Gold star. And I have shorts on.
I don't.
For Indie Invasion Shorts.
It's cold.
It's still like, look, I got a sunburn. It is not cold here. Look. It is not cold here. So, welcome everybody to another episode of Indie Invasion Shorts. Whether you're joining us on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, we are glad that you are here. For you, anybody first time watching the videos, what we like to do is we take 30 minutes on our Wednesday night show and we just talk about something gaming related. Stuff. Basically what this is what Eric and I do anyway when we get together. Now it's just officially on Wednesday night at 9:30 so that we can be joined by all of you awesome folks out there in internet land and world and Australia and Japan and the UK and everywhere else. Oh, Todd has a tornado warning and crazy lightning here. So if I disappear, that's why. Roger that, Todd. Not sure I've ever experienced crazy lightning. Is it any different than normal lightning? I'll wait. No, I'm just kidding. I won't.
You'll wait.
No, there's like a 10-second delay, so I won't wait. It would just be a really long conversation. So anyway, guys, we are doing something a little bit different tonight. A little bit. Normally, we just kind of talk about crafting or, what we've been working on or things like that, or themes for games. Well, we decided that there's so many really cool independent games out there that maybe we can't get a whole hour-and-a-half episode out of because maybe they're not really narrative driven as in having self-contained fluff, or maybe they're just not out there enough that people know about it, that we can't get enough out of it, or maybe we haven't even played it enough. So we decided, hey, it might be kind of cool to do some of those on Indie Invasion Shorts. So tonight, what game are we talking about there, Eric, the mailman?
Tonight, we're talking about a game that I think we actually early on in the regular podcast, we have touched on a bit, but we also thought shorts would be good to kind of dive into the game a little bit more. So we thought we'd talk about Starbreach by Elijah Kellogg. I think I'm saying his last name right. And this is a really cool sci-fi skirmish miniatures game. It's mini agnostic. It's easy to learn. It's very intuitive to play, but yet it still has a lot of strategy in it. And you got a hardcover book, so
I do have a hardcover. And I have, not only do I have a hardcover, so I apologize for all of you that are listening on Podbean and not watching right now. But if you look right there in the corner,
you got it actually signed too, and numbered.
40 of 61. So there were it wasn't really a Kickstarter. It went on to Kickstarter and then got canceled like right away because he decided to do, I don't remember what they're called, but it was on his website and it was just a fundraiser. And it was like, okay, this is what we're going to do. We're not setting a target goal. However much money we get, that's how many books we'll print, and they'll be for those people. So
like a single print run, basically, is what he did.
Yeah. And so now, I got the hardcover.
Since that, he basically went into a partnership with it is Slow Death Games that offer a print copy of the book and soft cover that's only like $20. So it's not super expensive, but even better yet, this is one of the things I like about it. Free rules to easily download the PDF.
Yes. And I wish, and Eric and I were just talking about this, I wish I could remember what it was, but I discovered this game quite a while ago. And it wasn't called Starbreach, and for the life of me, I can't remember what it was called. He ended up changing the name, but I always loved the way that Elijah presented his game. And if you go to the website, which is starbreach.com, the catchphrase for the game is any sci-fi universe, any sci-fi models, forever free to play.
Yeah.
So from the get-go, the game was free, and it is always going to be free. All you got to do is go to the website and you can download the PDF. But like Eric said, you can purchase.
Yeah. If you're the type of gamer that wants that, in your hand copy, you can easily get it for cheap. I mean, there is downsides because if there's FAQs and recent updates, he just adds it and updates the PDF. So I would suggest even just getting that too, because you never know. Some of I think the newer FAQs they have, or maybe there's different options for weapon choices in the factions. So, but I guess some of the features, let's dive into the features just so everybody kind of knows what Starbreach is a little bit about. We mentioned free rules.
Huge.
You only need a ruler, a couple sets of D6s, different colors maybe. And then the best part, any 28 millimeter minis.
Not even 28 millimeter necessarily.
True.
I mean, you could really play it at any scale that you wanted to. And
then I like that it's you need a space that's 3x3. That ain't very big space. I mean, that's your dining room to play the game.
And again, you downsize that scale a little bit. You can even shrink it down to 2x2. Or if you're like me, you shrink it down to 2x2 anyway and just go up. And so with the dice, you can just use regular D6. But again, sorry for you guys that are listening and not watching. They do have dice. And of course, when they ran the hardcover copy book, they had 4 different colors. So naturally, I had to get a set of each colors because Indie Invasion Anonymous it's real, baby.
Yeah.
It's real.
And you know what? You can still get these order dice, these special custom dice.
Yeah, but now they have more colors that I don't have.
Now they have more colors.
I gotta get the green ones, man. I'm not gonna lie.
You gotta get some more sets to complete.
Yes, Craig, we have given you another game to review on your channel, and we will I can't subscribe anymore because I already did, but I'll like and I'll probably even comment. So I know it's crazy.
What's neat too is that the game book, so there's 20 different factions in this game you can pick from that basically they kind of have that recognizable theme. Like you want to play Space Marines, they got that. You want to play Sith, they got that.
Well, let's be honest though. They don't kinda have that feeling. It's not kinda.
It's a little more than that.
It's a little bit more than kinda have that feeling. If you're looking for a game where, so the thing that popped into my mind when we decided we were going to talk about Starbreach was this. We've talked about Games Workshop a few times. We try not to too much, not because we hate them, but because they're most definitely not an indie game company anymore. And they make great models. We give them the praise that they deserve. And we are where we are in our gaming community because of them paving the way. But we've talked about it's grimdark, and not everybody wants that. And then on the opposite spectrum, you have Retro Ray Gun, right? Which is the campy, colorful, bright kind of world. And the cool thing about Starbreach is you can have those Retro Ray Gun space ace dudes fight up against Abaddon the Despoiler, basically. So you can have your grimdark straight up going against Retro Ray Gun. You can have Yoda throwing down with Abaddon. I'm just going to go with him again just because Abaddon needs to fight Yoda. Who doesn't want to see that, right? I mean, I want to see that. Maybe nobody else does, but now I do. So,
well, I think it's neat too that these factions, that it's not a straight up just pick one and play with it. It does have a little bit of tweaking you can do with the customization. You can pick you can kind of change up the weapons, or if you are playing maybe in a campaign or a tournament, using those rules that they have in that book, it's kind of it's almost like as you progress through that, you can, based on the scenario, earn stuff to like upgrade your
Right.
main guy, so
Right.
he gets more powerful. I think that's kind of cool. So it gives a variety.
Yeah, so it kind of reminds me of those skirmish games like the first edition of Necromunda. And I only say the first edition because I haven't played the newer stuff. But the first edition of Necromunda, where that's exactly what you were doing. You'd pick the 6 to 8 guys of the type that you liked. You would kit them out how you wanted, and then bam, then you go play, and then they develop. Well, that's kind of the same way here. Is you pick the guys you like. So just as a for instance, say you take the Legion of Mankind, which is basically your human space soldiers. Now, mind you, our brains initially said, okay, we're going to make those. We're calling those Space Marines, right? Because that's where our brain went. But it doesn't have to go there, right? It can go if you have Colonial Marines if you've got the Alien versus Predator box set game that has the really cool 32 millimeter Colonial Marines, you can use them as your Legion of Mankind. With the Hive soldiers, which, you know, most of us as skirmish gamers, our brain goes to GW again, and we think Tyranids. Well, again, if you have that Alien versus Predator box, why can't it be the aliens?
Oh yeah.
So it can just be anything you really want it to be. Let's see. What did Craig say? Craig said, this sounds like the old game Star Wars Epic Duels. Great idea, terrible game, but since been redone by Restoration Game as the Unmatched series. I'm not familiar. Didn't you did Epic Duels, right?
A little bit. And Unmatched, the difference is that you do have you can customize your models, your characters a little bit. They do keep it pretty straightforward and simple. So it does give you a little bit of that, more of that miniatures skirmish game of building out your force based on points.
Right.
So, and that's one of the cool things about it is it's about, let's just get it to the table, play a pretty quick game with simple rules, but you do have plenty of choices in the game to make it fun.
Right. So Tyler said, hey, Tyler.
Hey, Tyler.
Glad you joined us. And Motley Hobbies. Dang it, now I have to go buy squats. Yes, you do, because this is the perfect game. And you can, if you want to find some really cool squat models, check out Ramshackle Games. Curtis Fell is the sculptor, and he has some really, really cool squats. A couple years back, I picked up some biker squats that he had made. And it's shameful to say, because this is not my MO. They're not even put together. Ooh. Right? That's terrible for me. Yeah, it's got everything you can think of. It's got the Coven. It's got the Uruk Warlords, which, you know, those are basically orcs of any kind you want. Space Explorers and Pirates, which is your nomadic raiders. So you could even, I mean, there's no limit. That's right, Daniel. Biker squats. There's really no limit to what you can do. So you mentioned the Sith. Well, naturally, if you have the Sith in a game, what else would you have?
Well, you can do the Jedi. Yeah.
Right. And so you can use whatever you have, you can throw on the table. I just go through my head and I try to think of all the different models that I have for stuff. I've used my Infinity models in the game. I've used Space Marines. I've used some Chaos Marines. I've used some aliens that I had. I haven't played a whole bunch, but again, we don't have a game store here where I can push it. And this game actually, we've kind of discussed this before in regards to a game that doesn't have miniatures. And the game is great, but it makes it really hard to push it to people. Because if you go to a convention or something, you know, they buy the game, they buy the book, and that's it. And then it's done. And so that's kind of a bummer when you're trying to help somebody get started in a game. But for us old grognards that are doing it, we're like, oh, I could build 14,000 points of armies with this game. So, hey, Greg.
Or if you have like older models, older factions, like say, Sisters of Battle, and
Right.
either you really love the models, but you don't get a chance to play them a lot. Well, you can
Right.
play them in here,
Right.
So that's neat that you can do that. All right, so let's talk a little bit because we mentioned that it's sometimes compared to Necromunda, Kill Team, but where I think it's really closely related is the bolt action with the die pull system. This is one of its unique features that makes it stand out. So they have these dice that you use. They're custom dice that you randomly pull out of a bag, and you assign them to one of your guys in your force, and then that person gets to activate.
Right.
There's like 6 things you get to assign, so it's not super in depth. There's a couple things that will maybe, you have to look at, like cover, stuff like that for what you may want to check into. And then it's simple enough too that if you have guys, the other guy has guys that haven't activated, you can have some kind of reaction. So it's pretty easy, straightforward type of thing. And there's not too many games that have used that kind of thing. So it keeps us, that variability. You don't know what's going to happen. Your opponent could pull 3 die in a row. That's his activation.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, you're kind of just sitting there taking it. Or do you risk saying, wait, I want to activate this guy and he's going to take some cover or something?
Right. And I originally, I wasn't a fan of that. I had watched a lot of bolt action games at conventions, and I was like, oh, that's really neat. I like the game. I'm not a big historical guy anyway, but I was like, wait a minute. I don't get to just activate my guys. I got to pull a die out of a bag. And so initially I was a little bit put off by the idea of that. And then I played a few games that used that sort of mechanic, and I kind of went, wow, kind of like the whole thing when I experienced with no dice in a game, and I was like, oh no, I can't play this game. And then I tried it, and I think if as gamers we approach a game and we go, okay, I'm willing to put aside my presuppositions just to see what this game offers. Now I say that with you take that with a grain of salt, because I think that you may still not like it. And that's okay. That's great. You can still not like it, but you can look at a system and go, you know what? I see what that is that it brought to the table, which is cool. It's not for me. It's not the game I really like. It's not how I like, but I see what it brought to the table, and I think generally speaking, the gaming community is kind of like that. We're all junkies. We're all willing to try. We're like, yeah, sure, I'll try that game. Sure.
Yeah. I would say if anybody that's out there kind of questioning it, try it. Just try it once to see, if you like it. Because sometimes it may not be what you're looking for. You may be looking for something that's a little bit meatier, a little bit more, I want to say charts and math,
Yeah.
But this is one of the things that makes this game stand out, is that it isn't that chunky. It's meant to be, a quick playing game that you can play in about an hour, and then, start back up, try a different team and have some fun with it.
Yeah. And really just break out your models. You know what I mean? Go into that box of old sci-fi, whatever guys you had, and break them out and just play a game. The nice thing about it is because it's a sci-fi game, it doesn't really matter what table you play on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You play on a jungle table or a water table, anything. I mean,
it could be a city, if you have all that drowned earth type stuff.
Me?
It'd be perfect for this game. It'd be perfect.
Yeah, and so there's so much that you can really, really do with the game. Simple mechanics, and the book. While you can't get this sweet Gucci, and again, I'm sorry for you guys on Podbean that can't see this amazingly beautiful hardcover book
taunting
that I have.
Is what he's doing.
Taunting Eric with ha ha ha. I'm pretty sure I told you about it way back when.
Oh, yeah, I remember looking at it.
We weren't doing the podcast, but I'm pretty sure I told you about it. But it is definitely worth a try. If for no other reason, I mean, you download it for free, and if really, really you got to have a book in your hand, take it to Staples, print it out. It costs you a few bucks, get it spiral bound, and you'll have it at your disposal. Like I said, we played it before. We played it on a 2x2 table instead of 3x3. Worked great.
Yep.
Really worked great.
Oh, let's see. System-wise, I think the other thing I wanted to bring up is, I just wanted to touch on it real quick, was the way they base their checks. Because it is pretty simple. There's I think each guy has 4 stats. So it's not like hard math. And a lot of your checks are based on what they call the initiative number. Mm-hmm. So you take this number, and based on what's going on in the environment, you get pluses or minuses to that. And it uses a 2D system, which you roll, you add it to that. The weapon may have some more bonuses. And then who you're shooting, they roll, kind of the same thing. And you just take the difference. And then if they have good armor, that could eat some up of that damage. And simple as that. After that goes through the armor, how much damage does he take? So it's not super hard math at all. And that's one of the things I like. You look at games that are 40K where you have a lot of charts and numbers, and it's like, okay, what's the wind blowing, and stuff like that. But like I said, that may be for some people that love that get into that, that meat.
Layers and layers.
Layers and layers. Yes, exactly.
Ogre style layers, like
yeah. But this one isn't meant to be that way. It's just let's have some fun. So
yeah, and not only let's have some fun, but let's throw every model we've ever owned in a sci-fi genre onto the table. There's so many cool sci-fi miniature producers out there.
I got a bag of Wookiees over there on the shelf just waiting to be put on the table for something.
Right. The first time we played, I played against my son, and he ran bounty hunters. Well, I broke out my Imperial Assault. I was like, here you go. I got bounty hunters. I got all kinds of Star Wars stuff. And then, of course, I got into Core Space. Yeah. And I've just got oodles and oodles of, they don't work for the Marines, the Legion of Mankind, but the Space Pirates all day long. Mm-hmm. Perfect for the Space Pirates. So it's definitely worth a look. It's free, guys. You can't really top that. You can check out the Facebook group as well. So the Starbreach Facebook group is, well, I haven't been on Facebook in a long time because I'm not on Facebook anymore, but it was a pretty active group. People posting pictures, and
I think a lot of people post up home brewed scenarios and stuff like that, or maybe little rules tweaks like homebrew type rules. So that's kind of cool that there's that kind of community involved in there, that they're always kind of, let's try this, just to change up the game a bit.
Yeah. And now I will tell you this, if you're a person that is looking for built-in fluff, so for me, a lot of times I like built-in fluff to help me start my story, and then I just run like a madman from there. But I personally like a bit of built-in fluff. So I like a game like Twisted or The Drowned Earth or Deep Wars or Shadow Sea, Twilight, games like that have a little bit of built-in fluff, but almost beg you to add more stuff to it. So this game is a rule set. Mm-hmm. And basically what it is saying to you is, hey, here's this great rule set, run with it and write your own story. So that would be my only caution, is that if you don't want to write your own story, but you want a narrative game, this one's probably not for you. If you're just a gamer that wants to chuck dice and you could give a rip about narrative, this game is definitely for you.
Yeah, and this game you can do solo. They do have some solo rules, or you can play it solo. I think he was developing some straight up solo rules for it that kind of had like a narrative story going with it.
And like with any game, though, and don't mishear me. You can forge your own narrative in anything. Yeah. It's just whether, if you want a starting point, you won't have one with this, because what Elijah has done is said, you find your starting point and you run with your story of your Sith Lord who is hunting down every Chaos Space Marine and Predator and Alien and regular Space Marine and Imperial Guard. He's hunting them all down to bring them under the unification of the Emperor. You know what I mean? So you get to forge your own, but you can do that. I mean, that's pretty cool.
That's almost like when you were a kid making make-believe, on the playground. And it's like, I'm Luke Skywalker and you could be Buck Rogers, and you're just pulling for all those different sci-fi, genres.
Right. Or I don't know how many times in my bedroom as a kid, I had my G.I. Joes invade the Ewok village.
Heck yeah.
Because that was just a cool toy. That was a cool play set, man. And you straight up had to invade the Ewok village.
You had to include it in everything.
Everything, man. Everything. And more than one time, Darth Vader cut through the wall of my G.I. Joe base. So, and now you get to play it with dice as a grown-up and pretend like you're not thinking those exact same things you were when you were a kid. Because if you play this game, that's exactly what you'll be doing. You'll be pretending you were a kid on your bedroom floor playing with your G.I. Joes, Star Wars, He-Man, whatever it was that you played with, having He-Man go toe-to-toe with Megatron.
Heck yeah, I could still do that.
That's what you're getting in this game.
So to sum it up, our favorite things about Starbreach were all the factions you can pick from to use other models from other games in this game. And then 2, it has a simple stat system using simple, single stats with just a few modifiers. So it's easy to get to the table, quick play. Mm-hmm. And I think this was my last thing that I thought was cool was the 2D6 system, as well as the dice pull system. It's kind of what makes the game stand out. So,
and I've slowly become a fan of the pulling the dice.
It's a neat strategy system. You wouldn't think it's like, wait, what? I can't just pick one? No, well, you kind of can, but you don't know if you're going to activate.
I think I really got hooked on that methodology with Twilight.
Yeah.
That's the one. That's the one that pulled me, and obviously that one works differently. We'll talk about that in another show. But yeah, that's where it appealed to me. So I think it's your turn to take us out. I think it is.
Well, guys, check this game out. It's at starbreach.com for a free download. Or if you want to look into getting some of the dice and the books, check out Slow Death Games, bigcartel.com. But until next time, you guys, if you want to find some more of our audio stuff that we're putting out, check us out on Podbean, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Pandora, Stitcher, Spotify, Pocket Cast, and all other places you can find podcasts to listen to on the go. Also, if you guys would please visit our Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Discord. We're trying to get some conversation going in both of those. So please like, subscribe, smash all the buttons. It lets us know that you guys are paying attention to what we're blabbering about. And, it helps us grow a little bit. And if you have any questions or suggestions for games to check out, email us at indieinvasion@gmail.com. And then if you visit our website, CoastalCon website at coastaltext.com, we have links to save you guys time to find all those places we're talking about. You can easily listen to the podcast there on the website, and you can check out some of our friends of the show there. And if you also could please visit us on patreon.com/Indie Invasion. We have a bunch of content on there for you guys. You don't have to support us, but you can feel free to just check out the content on there. We keep it up there free for everybody to just enjoy and see what we're getting onto. But that's about it, guys. Our Wednesday night, something new for us. Let us know what you guys think about this.
Got one question from Spaz. Where did I get the hardcover book from? You had to back the Kickstarter. It was a limited run. There's no more hardcover books. You can only get the deluxe PDF, and I believe I may be incorrect, but I believe you can order a soft copy from Slow Death Games.
Yeah, it's like $20 for the paperback.
Don't quote me on that. Quote Eric on that because he said it.
Yeah, I said it. I got the window open still. But guys, hey, until next time, while you're out there checking out this game and some other ones that you stumble into, prepare yourself for the invasion. Bye, guys.